Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, now I want to talk about the third week of June. And boy, where I left off in the second week, is intense. So where I'm picking up from with the third week is very, very intense. Now, I want to remind everyone that I do Vedic sidereal astrology, and this is the true placements of where the planets are. Furthermore, I want you to know that I'm basing this all on where the moon is transiting. And another thing is that as I look at all the aspects and everything that's going on in accordance to the moon, if you want to know how this affects you personally, then I suggest that you go check out my galactic planner. It will calculate your own birth chart and apply all of these transiting planets to your chart, so you will better know how this affects you personally, because pretty much what I'm talking about is pretty global. And so that's galacticplanner.com. And also, if you want all of these transcriptions printed out, sent to your email address, sign up for my free newsletter. This will give you all of this weekly, delivered directly to you. So that's on galacticcenter.org. Okay, so let's kick in here. I am starting with, let me put this back to the middle of the day on Sunday, June 15th. June 15th, we still have the moon in Capricorn, and this is a vile place. I don't mean it's being in Capricorn. It's vile because of where all the other planets are relative to this poor little moon. So we've got the Jupiter, Sun, Mercury in the 6th house from the moon, and the Mars K2 in the 8th house from the moon. This is a very treacherous place. And so I'm going to say that June 14th, which I finished with in the last one, is very treacherous. And this day is just as treacherous. So we are in hot water now. Things are difficult. But the moon is, at least it's crossed over Pluto. It's not still with Pluto as it was the day before. It's still in Capricorn, but now it is in the nakshatra Shravana. Shravana is much easier. It deals with clear understanding. It deals with listening. It is a much easier feel than the day before, but it's still a rough place. I can't tell you, this does not look good on the 15th. And this is the day that Saturn and Jupiter are exactly square one another. That has major repercussions with the stock market, with the economy. So I would think, this is Sunday, by Monday, you're going to see the results of these very difficult planetary patterns that are happening right now. This is actually a yod forming. A yod is called the finger of God. It's an aspect of where the moon is at the fulcrum of the yod. So this is very karmic, what's going on right now. Things are really heating up. There's some karma, difficult, crazy things globally in the world. And still, I'm looking at the 15th with Mars squaring Uranus. This is all about sudden, unexpected attacks and violence. So I think I've made myself pretty clear. Lay low. All right, so now we are looking at June 16th. June 16th is the day that the moon will leave Capricorn, go into Aquarius. But this moon is opposed by Mars, and that makes things even more violent and angry. Now things are really starting to, there's repercussions happening from, I think, the sudden, unexpected events that have been happening for the past few days. This is not any better. And the moon is also in the nakshatra Dhanishta. Dhanishta is a very cutting nakshatra. It's ruled by Mars, and it is not a good nakshatra for relationships. Furthermore, with Mars being in the 7th house from the moon, this is a terrible day for relationships. You will find that things are heating up in your own personal relationships. You will find that people around you are more contentious and angry and argumentative. It's just difficult. And a lot of people are starting to be concerned about their finances. This is where things kind of start going south, if I could say that. I said that in the very beginning of this month, that the second part of this month is not easy. So the third and the last weeks, I'm not, I say lay low, okay? Get your traveling and fun over with the first few weeks and lay low. Now's the time to really hunker down, because things are going to start getting very intense. And this goes globally, all around the world. This is occurring. So I am looking at, well, Jupiter and the Sun and Mercury are lining up. I'm going to tell you something else. Jupiter being in the nakshatra Ardra most of the time this month deals with sadness. Ardra symbol is a teardrop. Jupiter is going to be in Ardra most of this whole month, and it also deals with treacherous weather. So look out, guys. This is, you know, June's usually not that dangerous, but things are really heating up at June and July. So let's move up to June 17th. And June 17th is important because the moon will be aligning with Rahu, and that represents intense feelings, intense, a sense of emotional intensity. The moon is going to be in the nakshatra Shatabhishak. That nakshatra deals with, it deals with healing, but it can also, it is ruled by Rahu. It is intense, it is harsh, it is cutting. That's what we're feeling right now. And it feels a bit out of control. Saturn is with Neptune, and it's in the 2nd house from the moon. So there is a sense of lack of clarity on the financial markets. Things are starting to shift and change. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the next day, June 18th. And let me just tell you, June 18th through the 21st, look out. Things are going to really, really intensify. And I'll tell you, the 20th is a day that I warned people of when I did my world predictions last December of 2024, because Mars is going to be aspecting the Saturn-Neptune. It will be exact on the 20th, but when it gets within a 3-degree orb or range, really, it's going to be from the whole 3rd week. But let me just say, June 18th through the 21st, look out. Things are going to really get out of control. The moon is going to be with Saturn today, and that's depressing. That's heavy. This is not a happy, joyful day. And I'm looking at the sun is getting closer to Jupiter. Then the closer they become, the benefits of Jupiter are extinguished. It doesn't have power to help us. So this is all brewing and coming up. Today is kind of like a depressed kind of day. And Mars, Ketu are in the 6th house from where the moon sits. And the 6th house deals with accidents, health matters, problems. Maybe it does deal with some kind of biological warfare. I hope not. I mean, after COVID, we've had enough of that. But I think there is a lot going on that is treacherous between the 18th and the 21st. Now, the moon being in Pisces this whole day is going to be in the nakshatra Purva Bhadrapada. And as you've heard me say many times, this nakshatra it can deal with visionaries, but the fact that it's so close to Saturn, it can deal with people that are two-faced and are not honest. And the moon is going to be riding over Neptune as well today. Moon, Saturn, Neptune. You can't trust what you're hearing, what people are telling you. There is deception, there is denial, there is cloudiness in our minds. We are being brainwashed. Look out, there is so much to contend with. But even though this is treacherous, there's still a little bit of hope because Venus is second from the moon. So things are getting a little better, but you know what? The rest of it's so contentious, I can't even go there. Okay, so let's take it to June 19th. In June 19th, the moon will have crossed over the Saturn-Neptune. It's going to be in the nakshatra Revati. Revati is one of the best nakshatras. It does deal with good things, and there's a relief, I think, in this day, even though not much. In this day, this is a Thursday, June 19th, and looking at this, because the moon is moving away from Saturn, Neptune, clarity is coming. And we do have Jupiter, Mercury, Sun. They're all together in the 4th house from the moon. So if you are looking and you need to move real estate, this would probably be one of the better days of the month to shop and look for real estate. Even though it's not perfect, because this month is really hairy. It's like one thing after another. But this is okay for moving real estate opportunities with residences and real estate. Okay, so let's move this to June 20th. This is a Friday. And this day picks up somewhat because the moon will leave Pisces. And as the moon leaves Pisces and goes into Aries, and it will hit Aries in the morning on June 20th, and it starts to align with Venus. So this can start to be beneficial in the area of relationships. So it's good for relationships, but it's not good with violence and war and confusion. Why? Even though the moon's aligning with Venus, which can give us a little hope, there is a nasty aspect with Mars and Neptune, Saturn. They're all 7 degrees in a quincunx of accidents and attacks. And Mars is violence and war. So this is not easy either. And with Saturn, Neptune being in the 12th house from the moon, the 12th house deals with secret enemies. Be aware of this. This is difficult. And the moon is, when it's in Aries, early Aries, is in the nakshatra Ashwini. Ashwini is ruled by Ketu. It's not an easy nakshatra. It does deal with quick travels, and maybe, you might find that you've got to go on a trip and travel. It'll be okay if you take it on this day, because actually the Jupiter, Mercury, and the Sun, but the Jupiter, Mercury being in Gemini in the 3rd house from the moon will give you protection when you're traveling. Although I do not like this aspect between Saturn, Mars, and Neptune. It is a trigger. Something big will be triggered around the day of the 20th. It's hard for me to pinpoint an exact day because planetary energy is applying for a few days before. Sometimes it happens right before, not usually exactly on the exact conjunction, but we know the trends and where the energies are going. So now I want to look at Saturday, June 21st. This is the last day I'm going to be looking at for the 3rd week. And the moon does align with Venus. It's in the nakshatra Bharani. Bharani is about new beginnings, new births. And I do like that the moon is with Venus in Bharani because Bharani is actually ruled by Venus. And so this will accentuate today on the 21st, love, marriage, relationships. So it's a great day to express your feelings of love and commitment to your partner. It's a time of new beginnings in relationships. But around the world, we're still getting all this chaos in the world. So, you know, even though I know it's sad, some places may be in total war. Depending on where you are on Earth, it may not be affecting you personally, okay? So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Now, the sun is very close to Jupiter. This means Jupiter is combust the sun, and Jupiter is very, very weak now. Okay, so let me move this. No, I'm not going to move it up because I'm finished with the last and 3rd week of June. So where I'm leaving off with this is that Jupiter's starting to really become disempowered. And another thing is traveling will be really hectic. I think the 21st is okay, but the last week is not. I'm going to be talking about that soon, so I'm leaving you hanging here, and get ready for the last week. But this one, I don't know, it's pretty darn bad. I don't know what's worse. Oh my gosh, I've been worried about the month of June and July ever since I did the world predictions last December. So just hunker down and know that it's only going to last for a couple of months. It's not going to ruin the world. It's going to actually surface everything, blow up, cleanse, purge, and we're looking for a healing soon after this. So it's not going to last. That's what I can leave you with. So with that, if you want to learn more about me, you can always go to my website, galacticcenter.org. Sign up for my free newsletter, check out all the great offerings, and if you want to study with me, go to my university website, universityofvedicastrology.com. Thank you.